Hello, Maryela. My name is Alan Bacon. I wanted to say nice job on your video. I appreciated your use of scripture. I thought Ephesians 4:2 was a particularly good choice. The admonition to be humble, gentle, and patient, those are certainly all characteristics that a good counselor should have. You spoke of being aware. You spoke of being aware as a teacher of what was going on in your community. In light of the subject matter and this idea of the counselor's golden rule, I'd be curious to know what kind of school and community do you live in? Is it a mixed community? You know, what kind of a challenge? What kind of challenges do you face there? And what sorts of things do you have to, work on in your perception to maybe work with the kids and potentially one day work with them as counselors as well? I ask because I know that as a white male, what I view as good for me is most likely going to be different than what, say, a female or someone from a different ethnicity or family background would see as good for them. So I know, as the article seems to suggest, that I need to ask a lot of questions and carefully listen to the answers to really know what's viewed as good by a client whose background and culture are different than mine. And I would imagine, as a teacher dealing with multiple students from multiple backgrounds, that must be quite a challenge. Now, in saying that, I've begun to realize that there seems to be a culture gap from state to state. I've lived all up and down the East Coast, so I know there's a culture gap from state to state and family to family, even amongst Caucasian Americans, which leads me to believe that practicing the counselor's golden rule is more advisable than just the golden rule, which for me is based on my background and my perceptions. I also want to add that the subject of social justice and the counselor's golden rule has kind of struck a chord for me, because here, for the first time in my life, I'm living in a multi-ethnic area. There are some 60 different countries represented in the area I live in. And I find that I really do want to understand, but there's a price for understanding, and that price is taking the time to be with the different groups that I have exposure to, the Hispanics, the Vietnamese, the African Americans. It's taking the time to be with them and get to know them and get to know their lives. So, so that I can begin to grasp that there really is more than one way of looking at what's desirable for a person's life. I think the article called that self-transference. It's the art of valuing and treating others in a way that's in their best interest, which of course you can't do unless you take the time to get to know them and to know what they want, and which of course is the key to practicing true social justice. Hey, thanks for the time. Thanks for the good video, and I hope you have a good weekend.